cold had settled in back in the fall, and the air that came in wasn't winter anymore. It was something I'd been waiting for through all. That particular warmth that only spring has. Not summer's heat, but something softer still. Like the world remembered how to be alive, and sent it through my window on the sill. First warm day of spring, and everything is waking. The birds are back, and so is something I'd forgotten in the cold. First warm day of spring, and something in me's breaking open like a flower that was waiting for permission to unfold. I went outside without a coat for once, and felt the sun land gentle on my face, and laughed a little at how good it felt to stand in this particular warm place. Every year I'm caught off guard by it, the way the warmth comes back and finds you, like a friend who's been away too long, returning just in time to remind you. First warm day of spring, and everything is waking. The birds are back, and so is something I'd forgotten in the cold. First warm day of spring, and something in me's breaking open like a flower that was waiting for permission to unfold. Hello spring, you're finally here, and everything feels like it's starting all over again. They came overnight while no one was watching, and turned the whole street into something else. Pink and white and impossibly beautiful, like a dream the city gave itself. I walked beneath them with my coffee, and looked up into all that soft and bright, and thought of everything that blooms and passes, and felt the beauty of the temporary light. Cherry blossoms falling in the spring, the most beautiful of all the fleeting things. There one morning, gone before the week, the most gorgeous thing about them is that they don't stay. Cherry blossoms floating through the air, reminding me to love what isn't there. Forever, only now, only today. The most gorgeous thing about them is they always go away. A child ran through and scattered them like confetti, and an old man watched and smiled beside his gate. And I stood there in between them, thinking that beauty doesn't ask begs you to stop and look a moment at the pink and white against the blue, and understand that everything that passes was still completely real while it came through. Cherry blossoms falling in the spring, the most beautiful of all the fleeting things. There one morning, gone before the week, the most gorgeous thing about them is that they don't stay. Cherry blossoms floating through the air, reminding me to love what isn't there. Forever, only now, only today. The most gorgeous thing about them is they always go away. Fall slowly, pink and white. I'm not ready, but I never am, and that's the point. The rain came down so differently in spring, not the cold gray rain that winter brings, but something warmer, softer, more forgiving, like the sky was washing everything. Spring rain smells like beginning, like the earth is opening its eyes, like something underground is stirring and reaching slowly for the skies. Spring rain falling on my window, gentle like a conversation, washing all the winter gray away and leaving something green in its place. Spring rain falling soft and tender, a kind of hopeful benediction, telling everything that it's okay to try again, to grow, to find its way. I stood out in it for a little longer than was probably sensible to do, but something about spring rain on your face feels like a promise being renewed. There's a difference between winter rain and spring rain, in the way it lands and how it feels when a rain just falls, but spring rain nurtures like it knows that something needs to heal. Spring rain falling on my window, gentle like a conversation, washing all the winter gray away and leaving something green in its place. Spring rain falling soft and tender, a kind of hopeful benediction, telling everything that it's okay is listening. Everything is growing because of you. It happened right when everything was blooming, which felt almost too perfect to be true. The whole world turning green and warm around me, and me turning my whole world toward you. Spring has always been the season for it, for opening and hoping and beginning, for taking down the walls that winter built and letting someone in and just beginning. Falling in love in spring, when everything is soft and opening, when the whole world smells like somewhere new, and I only wanna smell like you. Falling in love in spring, the most perfect time for everything, when even ordinary days feel bright, and you are my particular spring light. We walked through all the cherry blossoms falling, and you caught one and put it in my hair, and I thought, this is the moment I'll keep always, this particular spring and you right there. Some loves arrive in summer, some in winter, but the ones that come in spring have something extra, like the season lends them all its best intentions. It's warmth and hope and green and gentle texture. Falling in love in spring, when everything is soft and opening, when the whole world smells like somewhere new, and I only wanna smell like you. Falling in love in spring, the most perfect time for everything, when even ordinary days feel bright, and you are my particular spring light. Whatever this is, it feels like spring, and I hope it lasts past summer into everything. I threw the window open wide this morning and felt the spring come rushing all the way in, and thought of all the things I'd been postponing, and felt the sudden urge to just begin. If nature can completely start from nothing after everything that winter took away, then maybe I can do the same thing also on this particular warm and open day. Spring makes me want to start over, clean the corners, clear the mind, leave the heavy winter version of myself a little more behind. Spring makes me want to start over, like the flowers pushing through the ground, like the birds returning without asking for permission to be found. I made a list of things I wanna try, of people I've been meaning to call back, of places I keep saying I'll go someday, and things I've lost that I wanna find back. There's no better time than spring for starting. It doesn't of myself a little more behind. Spring makes me want to start over, like the flowers pushing through the ground, like the birds returning without asking for permission to be found. Start over right now. Spring said so, and spring is never wrong. I didn't have a destination, really. Just wanted to be out in all of this, the green and the particular spring light, and the warmth that felt like something I had missed. There's something about walking in the spring that makes the world seem manageable again. Like every step on newly warmed pavement is a small negotiation with your pain. Walking alone in the spring afternoon, everything is green and the light is gold. The world is busy blooming all around me, and I am quietly doing the same. Walking alone through the spring and its beauty, letting the season do what seasons do. Remind you that the cold was always temporary, and something good was always coming through. A dog ran past me, chasing something joyful. A couple held hands on the bench ahead, and I walked through it all and felt included in this particular spring being spread. Solitude in spring is different somehow, less lonely and more chosen and more clear. Like the season fills the space around you, so you never feel entirely alone out here. Walking alone in the spring afternoon, everything is green and the light is gold. The world is busy blooming all around me, and I am quietly doing the same. Walking alone through the spring and its beauty, letting the season do what seasons do. Remind you that the cold was always temporary, and something good was always coming through. I'll walk a little longer, spring asked me to, and spring always knows what I need. The light came in floor in that spring pattern that I'd been waiting all the winter for. There's something about spring light specifically, the way it warms without the summer's weight, like the sun is being gentle with you first, before it builds to something more ornate. Spring light through my window, painting everything in gold, making all the ordinary beautiful, making everything feel less old. Spring light through my window, stay a little longer here. Every room you touch becomes a poem. Every shadow disappears. I moved my chair into the warmest patch and sat there with my book and let it land, and felt the particular joy of spring light on the back of my outstretched hand. Winter rooms feel different in spring light, like they've been waiting to be seen like this, like the walls and floors were holding something back that spring light brings back with a golden kiss. Spring light through my window, painting everything in gold, making all the ordinary beautiful, making everything feel less old. Spring light through my window, stay a little longer here. Every room you touch becomes a poem. Every shadow disappears. Don't go yet, spring light. The room is warmer with you in it, and so am I, and so am I. The winter had been longer than most winters, or maybe I just felt it more this time. But something shifted when the spring arrived, like a key turning in a long stuck rhyme. I hadn't noticed how much gray I'd taken on, until the green came back and showed me so, until the light returned a different color and reminded me what I used to know. Spring makes me hopeful again, like the darkness had a season and it's ending, like the weight I carried all through winter is becoming something worth defending. Spring makes me hopeful again, not because everything tells me that I too can come back to the light. The flowers didn't ask if they were ready. They just pushed up through the cold and grew. And I think there's something I should borrow from that particular courage that they knew. Hope is just a flower in the making, growing in the dark before it shows. And spring is just the season that reminds you that the growing happened even when no one knows. Spring makes me hopeful again, like the darkness had a season and it's ending, like the weight I carried all through winter is becoming something worth defending. Spring makes me hopeful again, not because everything is solved or right, but because something in the blooming tells me that I too can come back to the light. I'm coming back, like spring comes back, slowly and then all at once and beautifully. I drag my chair out to the garden for the first time since the autumn. Put it away and sat there in the not quite warm enough, and thought, I don't care, I'm staying anyway. There's a specific joy in the first outside sitting that no other moment through the year can match. When the air is still a little too cold for it, but you're desperate enough to make the catch. First time sitting outside this year, with a coffee and the spring arriving near. Not quite warm enough, but close enough, and I am here, and that is more than enough. First time sitting outside this year, and everything feels better than in there. The world is waking up, and so am I, under this particular spring sky. A bee arrived before the flowers did, which made me laugh because it made me think that hope shows up before the evidence and doesn't need to wait for everything to link. I stayed out longer than was comfortable, because comfort isn't what this moment's for. This moment's for the brave and the beginning, for stepping out and opening the door. First time sitting outside this year, with a coffee and the spring arriving near. Not quite warm enough, but close enough, and I am here, stay out here a little longer until the cold winds, which it always does in April, but not yet, not just yet. The tree outside my window was so bare. For all the months the winter held its ground. And then one morning I looked out and saw it, with the smallest, most determined green around. And something in me understood it quietly, that nothing stays the same for very long, that even what seems permanent and frozen is just resting before becoming strong. Spring reminds me everything will change. The bear will bloom and bloom will fall again. And I am somewhere in that same rotation, a season moving through its own refrain. Spring reminds me everything will change, and somehow that is not a thing to fear, because the changing is the whole point of the living. And spring comes back to prove that every year. I thought of all the winters I had weathered, of all the times I thought the cold would stay, and how each time the spring came back regardless, and found a way to make the dark give way. This too shall pass is more than just a saying, when you watch it happening outside your door, when you see the evidence repeated yearly, that nothing cold or broken stays for more. Spring reminds me everything will change. The bear will bloom and bloom will fall again. And I am somewhere in that same rotation, a season moving through its own refrain. Spring reminds me everything will change, and somehow that is not a thing to fear, because the changing is the whole point of the living. And spring comes back to prove that every year. Thank you, spring, for coming back, for always coming back, and reminding me that I will too. opened up the window for the first time since the cold had settled in back in the fall. And the air that came in wasn't winter anymore. It was something I'd been waiting for through all. That particular warmth that only spring has. Not summer's heat, but something softer still. Like the world remembered how to be alive and sent it through my window on the sill. First warm day of spring, and everything is waking. The birds are back, and so is something I'd forgotten in the cold. First warm day of spring, and something in me's breaking open like a flower that was waiting for permission to unfold. I went outside without a coat for once, and felt the sun land gentle on my face, and laughed a little at how good it felt to stand in this particular warm place. Every year I'm caught off guard by it, the way the warmth comes back and finds you, like a friend who's been away too long, returning just in time to remind you. First warm day of spring, and everything is waking. The birds are back, and so is something I'd forgotten in the cold. First warm day of spring, and something in me's breaking open like a flower that was waiting for permission to unfold. Hello spring, you're finally here, and everything feels like it's starting all over again. They came overnight while no one was watching, and turned the whole street into something else. Pink and white and impossibly beautiful, like a dream the city gave itself. I walked beneath them with my coffee, and looked up into all that soft and bright, and thought of everything that blooms and passes, and felt the beauty of the temporary light. Cherry blossoms falling in the spring, the most beautiful of all the fleeting things. There one morning, gone before the week, the most gorgeous thing about them is that they don't stay. Cherry blossoms floating through the air, reminding me to love what isn't there. Forever, only now, only today. The most gorgeous thing about them is they always go away. A child ran through and scattered them like confetti, and an old man watched and smiled beside his gate. And I stood there in between them, thinking, gorgeous thing about them is that they don't stay. Cherry blossoms floating through the air, reminding me to love what isn't there. Forever, only now, only today. The most gorgeous thing about them is they always go away. Fall slowly, pink and white. I'm not ready, but I never am, and that's the point. The rain came down so differently in spring. Not the cold gray rain that winter brings, but something warmer, softer, more forgiving. Like the sky was washing everything. Spring rain smells like beginning, like the earth is opening its eyes, like something underground is stirring and reaching slowly for the skies. Spring rain falling on my window, gentle like a conversation, washing all the winter gray away and leaving something green in its place. Spring rain falling soft and tender, a kind of hopeful benediction, telling everything that it's okay to try again, to grow, to find its way. I stood out in it for a little longer than was probably sensible to do. But something about spring rain on your face feels like a promise being renewed. There's a difference between winter rain and spring rain, in the way it lands and how it feels when a rain just falls. But spring rain nurtures like it knows that something needs to heal. Spring rain falling on my window, gentle like a conversation, washing all the winter gray away and leaving something green in its place. Spring rain falling soft and tender, a kind of hopeful benediction, telling everything that it's okay to try again, to grow, to find its way. Keep falling, spring rain. Everything needs you. Everything is listening. Everything is growing because of you. It happened right when everything was blooming. And I hope it lasts past summer into everything. I threw the window open wide this morning and felt the spring come rushing all the way in, and thought of all the things I'd been postponing, and felt the sudden urge to just begin. If nature can completely start from nothing after everything that winter took away, then maybe I can do the same thing also on this particular warm and open day. Spring makes me want to start over, clean the corners, clear the mind, leave the heavy winter version of myself a little more behind. Spring makes me want to start over, like the flowers pushing through the ground, like the birds returning without asking for permission to be found. I made a list of things I wanna try, of people I've been meaning to call back, of places I keep saying I'll go someday, and things I'd lost that I wanna find back. There's no better time than spring for starting. It does it everywhere you look outside. Every tree and field and early morning is doing it with a particular pride. Spring makes me want to start over, clean the corners, clear the mind, leave the heavy winter version of myself a little more behind. Spring makes me want to start over, like the flowers pushing through the ground, like the birds returning without asking for permission to be found. Start over right now. Spring said so, and spring is never wrong. I didn't have a destination, really. Just wanted to be out in all of this, the green and the particular spring light, and the warmth that felt like something I had missed. There's something about walking in the spring that makes the world seem manageable again. Like every step on newly warmed pavement is a small negotiation with your pain. Walking alone in the spring afternoon, everything is green and the light is gold. The world is busy blooming all around me, and I am quietly doing the same. Walking alone through the spring and its beauty, letting the season do what seasons do. Remind you that the cold was always temporary, and something good was always coming through. A dog ran past me, chasing something this particular spring being spread. Solitude in spring is different somehow, less lonely and more chosen and more clear. Like the season fills the space around you, so you never feel entirely alone out here. Walking alone in the spring afternoon, everything is green and the light is gold. The world is busy blooming all around me, and I am quietly doing the same. Walking alone through the spring and its beauty, letting the season do what seasons do. Remind you that the cold was always temporary, and something good was always coming through. I'll walk a little longer, spring asked me to, and spring always knows what I need. The light came in at a different angle this morning, lower and more golden than before, and landed on the floor in that spring pattern that I'd been waiting all the winter for. There's something about spring light specifically, the way it warms without the summer's weight. Like the sun is being gentle with you first, before it builds to something more ornate. Spring light through my window, painting everything in gold, making all the ordinary beautiful, making everything feel less old. Spring light through my window, stay a little longer here. Every room you touch becomes a poem, every shadow disappears. I moved my chair into the warmest patch and sat there with my book and let it land, and felt the particular joy of spring light on the back of my outstretched hand. Winter rooms feel different in spring light, like they've been waiting to be seen like this. Like the walls and floors were holding something back, that spring light brings back with a golden kiss. Spring light through my window, painting everything in gold, making all the ordinary beautiful, making everything feel less old. Spring light through my window, stay a little longer here. Every room you touch becomes a poem, had been longer than most winters. Or maybe I just felt it more this time. But something shifted when the spring arrived, like a key turning in a long stuck rhyme. I hadn't noticed how much gray I'd taken on until the green came back and showed me so. Until the light returned a different color and reminded me what I used to know. Spring makes me hopeful again, like the darkness had a season and it's ending, like the weight I carried all through winter is becoming something worth defending. Spring makes me hopeful again, not because everything is solved or right, but because something in the blooming tells me that I too can come back to the light. The flowers didn't ask if they were ready, they just pushed up through the cold and grew. And I think there's something I should borrow from that particular courage that they knew. Hope is just a flower in the making, growing in the dark before it shows. And spring is just the season that reminds you that the growing happened even when no one knows. Spring makes me hopeful again, like the darkness had a season and it's ending, like the weight I carried all through winter is becoming something worth defending. Spring makes me hopeful again, not because everything is solved or right, but because something in the blooming tells me that I too can come back to the light. I'm coming back, like spring comes back, slowly and then all at once and beautifully. I drag my chair out to the garden for the first time since the autumn, put it away and sat there in the not quite warm enough and thought, I don't care, I'm staying anyway. There's a specific joy in the first outside sitting that no other moment through the year can match. When the air is still a little too cold for it, but you're desperate enough to make the catch. First time sitting outside this year with a coffee flowers did, which made me laugh because it made me think that hope shows up before the evidence and doesn't need to wait for everything to link. I stayed out longer than was comfortable, because comfort isn't what this moment's for. This moment's for the brave and the beginning, for stepping out and opening the door. First time sitting outside this year, with a coffee and the spring arriving near. Not quite warm enough, but close enough, and I am here, and that is more than enough. First time sitting outside this year, and everything feels better than in there. The world is waking up, and so am I, under this particular spring sky. I'll stay out here a little longer, until the cold winds, which it always does in April, but not yet, not just yet. The tree outside my window was so bare. For all the months the winter held its ground, and then one morning I looked out and saw it, with the smallest, most determined green around. And something in me understood it quietly, that nothing stays the same for very long, that even what seems permanent and frozen is just resting before becoming strong. Spring reminds me everything will change. The bear will bloom and bloom will fall again, and I am somewhere in that same rotation, a season moving through its own refrain. Spring reminds me everything will change, and somehow that is not a thing to fear, because the changing is the whole point of the living, and spring comes back to prove that every year. I thought of all the winters I had weathered, of all the times I thought the cold would stay, and how each time the spring came back regardless, and found a way to make the dark give way. This too shall pass is more than just a saying, when you watch it happening outside your door, when you see the evidence repeated yearly, that nothing cold or broken stays for more. Spring reminds me everything will change. The bear will bloom and season moving through its own refrain. Spring reminds me everything will change, and somehow that is not a thing to fear, because the changing is the whole point of the living, and spring comes back to prove that every year. Thank you, spring, for coming back, for always